And welcome, sports fans, to today's Roundtable. Glad you joined us for the final show of our Sports Roundtable season. And we pretty much stay right in line with the school year and pretty much getting out here over the last few weeks. And probably most schools will be getting out, I would say, this week. So we pretty much fall right in line with the school year. Pretty much late August to mid to late May, and today's our last show. Going to wrap up the spring sports season. There's still yet to come an update on the track and field championships in Jefferson City that were previously scheduled for Jefferson City. They're going to spread those out due to the tornado coming through Jefferson City. But we're going to wrap up the Sports Roundtable season today, talking about some track and field results that took place last weekend. Also, some baseball and spring softball games that took place over the last week as well. Going to wrap that up and also take a look back on the season. We're going to have Tommy Jacques along with us to talk about the season this year, back to the fall season, and also the winter season, and even including the spring season here. Just kind of reminisce a little bit. It was a great year. We brought a lot of it to you here on YHC in our broadcasts. So we'll be looking back on the sports season here on the Roundtable for the season finale of the Roundtable this year. And we'll be taking the summer off, coming back late August once fall sports start to kick up. But this will be the last Roundtable show for this season for 2018-2019. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the action that's took place over the last week, starting off with high school baseball in the Class 4 quarterfinals. It was St. Francis Borgia knocking off Sikeston up at Washington, Missouri at Borgia. That was 9-6 St. Francis Borgia over Sikeston. Sikeston got not only the district championship victory over Notre Dame, which was quite a feat there, defeating the talented Notre Dame Bulldog team. They advanced on to the sectional round. They got a sectional victory earlier this week, Monday, against St. Genevieve at home at VFW Stadium in Sikeston to move on to the quarterfinal round. Had to go on the road for this one and just fell short up at St. Francis Borgia, 9-6 in that loss. But a great season for the Sikeston Bulldogs, just one win away from the Final Four. But it's hard. High school baseball is hard, but Sikeston surely made a great run into that quarterfinal round. So congratulations to Sikeston on a successful season in this spring baseball season. And moving on, taking a look at high school softball. Taking a look at the championship game of the spring softball state championship last weekend. And that took place last weekend. And Kennett was in the championship game, went into extra innings. And it was Lincoln knocking off Kennett in 8 innings, 8-3. Lincoln erupted with 5 innings there, 5 runs in that 8th inning to win 8-3. But it took extra innings for the Kennett Lady Indians to go down in the spring softball season, and Kennett put together another fine softball season in the spring session, and come away with second place in the state in spring softball. And also we want to take a look at some track and field results last weekend. Class 1 and 2, the smaller schools participating last week. Taking a look at those results. In boys Class 2, Hayti as a team finishes 7th in the state in Class 2. That they knew coming into this season they were going to be able to compete and contend for a state championship as a team, but they did come away with 7th place. Not bad at all for the Hayti Indians in this spring season. Hayti, one of the best teams in the state in track and field, and they certainly showed it with the individual accolades as well. As we get into those, Isaac Fair from Kelly finished 4th in the shot put. Tyler Wooden of Hayti finished 2nd in the 110-meter hurdles. We have Gavin Hudson of Kelly finishing 4th in the 100-meter dash, and Matthew Agen of Kelly finishing 5th in the 100-meter dash. So back-to-back there with Hudson and Agen of Kelly in that 100-meter dash for the boys. And continuing on, staying with the Class 2 boys, Scott City with a relay team of John Auer, Joseph Panagos, Cody Ryan, and Kobe Hahn finished 4th in the 4x200 meter relay. And Hayti That's Gerard Covington, Tyler Wooden, Adrian Stevenson, and Ivory Winters. They finished first in the 4x100 meter relay and won that by almost a second. So dominant victory for the Hayti 4x100 relay team, and that was one of the top teams in the state, especially among the small schools. That 4x100 team of Hayti, a lot of great athletes, as we saw back into the football season as well as the basketball season. Some great athletes the Hayti Indians had this season. And also Kelly with a relay team of Matthew Egan, Landon Hawes, Evan Erhan, and Gavin Hudson. They finished fourth in the 4x100 meter relay. That same 4x100, Hayti finishes first and Kelly fourth. And more results from the boys class 2. Kobe Hahn of Scott City finished fourth in the 400 meter dash. Tyler Wooden of Hayti finished second in the 300 meter hurdles. Blesson Kimball of Charleston finished sixth in that same 300 meter hurdle race. Ivory Winters of Hayti, he finishes fifth in the 200 meter hurdles. And another relay, Scott City of Kobe Hahn, John Auer, Joseph Paganos, and Cody Ryan. They finished second in the 4x400 meter relay race. And Hayti, consisting of William Dunn, Jaden Wilburn, Damari Reed, and Matthew Wilson, they finished third in the 4x400 meter hurdle race. And that's the boys class 2 results. I think we might have, we got some more results from the girls class 2. Girls class 2, Kiara Johnson of Crothersville, she finishes second in the high jump. Lonnie Moore of Kelly finishes third in the long jump. Kiara Johnson of Crothersville with another finish of 12th in the long jump. Lonnie Moore of Kelly finishes 9th in the triple jump. Also, we have Anerica Reed of Malden finishing 5th in the 100 meter dash. And Crothersville relay team consisting of Habria Carter, Brittany Jordan, Vashia Rumpf, and Maddie Smith finishing second in the 4x200 meter relay race. And the Malden relay team of Crystal Allen, Shamia Dobbins, Ariane Ross, and Anerica Reed, they finished fifth in the 4x200 meter relay. And also we have a couple more relay teams. Crothersville of Mashia Rumpf, Kira Johnson, Brittany Jordan, and Kenya Battles. They finished first in the 4x100 meter relay, and they won by just over a second, I believe, in that race. Dominant victory for the Crothersville 4x100 relay team. And Malden with Crystal Allen, Shamia Dobbins, Anerica Reed, and Ariane Ross, they finished seventh in that same 4x100 meter relay race. And those are the notable finishes for the Class 2, boys and girls. There was Class 1, but not really any teams from the area. So some great results there. Some very talented teams. We've seen some of those same teams compete very well at the state level when it's Hayti, Crothersville, Malden, and even Charleston. Charleston had a little down year this year, but they're typically right there in the mix. But some great finishes for the track and field teams this season. I know that Hayti team had high hopes going into the season, finished 7th, and some great individual finishes as well. And Malden did well. Crothersville certainly with Kiara Reed, I think it was. Can't remember. I have that right. Yeah, Crothersville. Kiara Johnson had a great weekend in her individual performances. So some great performances there last week in Jefferson City. Speaking of Jefferson City, bad tornado went through there this week, damaging much of the city, and the state championships were being hosted by Lincoln College there at Jefferson City, and a lot of damage there in the Jefferson City area. So they're actually moving the Class 3, 4, and 5 state championships. They're actually going to be held at individual sites. I believe it's Class 3 that's going to be held at the Mizzou campus in Columbia. And Class 4, I believe, I can't remember which one's which, but Class 4 is going to be held at Washington High School, and Class 5 is going to be held at Battle High School in Columbia. I can't remember if I got those backwards, Washington and Battle, but either way, those three campuses will be hosting the Class 3, 4, and 5 state championships. I think they're going to have those on one day. They did have them scheduled for 2, but having to put together a different site for a state championship track and field event, it's got to be tough. Misha was probably pulling their hair out this week trying to not cancel it. You don't ever want to cancel a state championship event, and kudos to them for pulling it off. But they are separating it 3 different sites to be able to get everything in one day, make it as accommodating as possible for those schools hosting it. Again, at Mizzou, the Mizzou campus in Columbia, also the Battle High School campus in Columbia, and go to Washington, Missouri, which is right around St. Louis. The Washington High School for it's class 4 or 5, I can't remember which one, probably class 4. So, tough word for Misha this week to reschedule pretty much, and use different sites for the track and field state championships for class 3, 4, and 5. All right, and we're going to take a quick break, and we pretty much covered up all the spring sports here. We do want to give you an update. This past Monday, did have results in the class 1. Yeah, I forgot about Cooter. Cooter's still in the mix for class 1. Actually, forgot to even check on their game. I forgot all about checking the Class 1 game. Cooter did advance over Oran Monday. Cooter did advance over Oran Monday in the sectional round, had a dominant victory in that Class 1 sectional down in Cooter. And checking on that real quick, Cooter did advance over Dora in the quarterfinal round over in Dora. That was a few days ago. So Cooter is in the Final 4. Sorry, Cooter, we forgot about you there. But Cooter in the state Final 4, they advanced over Oran and Dora. They defeated Oran in a shutout 10-0 Monday. And then Wednesday, they defeated Dora 9-1. So dominant victories for the Cooter Wildcats. And they stand at 20-6 on the year. They will take on St. Elizabeth, who is 16-4. And that will be, looks like that'll be, Tuesday? Tuesday at 4 o'clock. And that'll be in O'Fallon. I believe they play that in the River City Rascals Stadium. They're in O'Fallon, Missouri, right outside of St. Louis. So Cooter will take on St. Elizabeth in the semifinal round. And in the other semifinal is Wooblu taking on La Plata. In that other semifinal game, and that Cooter and St. Elizabeth game will be at 4 o'clock on May 28th. So that would be Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon, 4 o'clock. Can watch that online on a pay-per-view basis on Misha TV. That's MSHSAA.tv. Watch that. You can watch that online on a pay-per-view basis. You got to pay about $9 for a 24-hour pass, I believe, but a pretty good deal there to watch the games at the state level. So there you go. Cooter putting together a nice season and continuing on to next week in the Final 4. This next week starting Tuesday. And also talking about some other games, Ellington defeated Portageville in the sectional round Monday. So Portageville falls in the sectional round. Malden fell to Saxony Lutheran in the Class 2 sectionals as well. So Malden ends its season trying to defend that state championship. It lost by 1 run to Saxony Lutheran in Malden earlier this Monday. So fine seasons there with Portageville and Malden as well. And we're going to take a break and have a good talk with Tommy Jacques. And he's going to be along with us to talk about the season to look back on for 2018-2019. And we'll be back with that coming up.
At Glen St. Chevrolet, we're going to move out the new 2018 models, and you're going to like the price. It's a big savings to you. Red Hot 4-wheel drive crew cab, your cost $33,995. Silver Ice, list price $47,790, your cost $35,995. Cajun Red, list price $49,690, your cost $37,995. What a savings. Remember, Glen St., the great savings we have, with an excellent service. Glenn Sane, and God bless our troops.
If you or your loved one has disabilities that cause you to need a little help, Boot Hill Area Independent Living Services can provide the assistance you need. At Bales, we want you to have control of your life and assist you in thriving in an independent lifestyle. The Consumer-Directed Services Program allows you, the consumer, to choose who assists you in conducting your daily activities. Bales serves Stoddard, Dunklin, New Madrid, and Pemiscot counties. Call or visit our office in Kennett to see how we can help you maintain your independence.
And welcome back, and now we're along with Tommy Jacques. Tommy Jacques along with us over the phone, and Tommy, we're going to take a look back on the season of 2018-2019. We had a lot of it here on YHC going back to the fall into the winter sports, and boy, it was a heck of a year this year, Tommy. Going back to the fall and the football and through the winter, we had quite a bit happen this year, and it was a fun year.
Oh, it was. It was very interesting, and what about those Indians? You know, they had a remarkable season. Unfortunately, ran into a Cardinal Ritter team that was super, super hot. But man, you got to get it, Coach Wyatt's Indians. They really have produced this year.
Yeah, going back to the fall season with high school football, the Kennett Indians made it all the way to I believe that was the quarterfinal round. Took on the Cardinal Ritter Lions and fell up there in St. Louis in the quarterfinal round. A very, very talented Cardinal Ritter team. One of those guys, I know one of those are hot shot receivers going to Ohio State next year. I think another one's going to Mizzou. And
that's right.
They got a quarterback coming back. He was the best quarterback in St. Louis coming back for his senior year this year, and he'll probably go to a big-time school as well. But a lot of talent on that Cardinal Ritter Lion team. But Kennett made a great run. Coach White's done a great job in his few years there. And they put together quite a run with this Kennett team the last few years. And it looks like they're going to be able to bring back a pretty competitive team as well. But this season really was special.
Yeah, they sure were. And you know, it wasn't funny, and I don't mean this to sound that way, but Cardinal Ritter gave Coach White medicine when Coach was at Malden. And we went up there, you and I, my brother Clyde, did those games. And I know their coach said, I got so tired of chasing Cortez Dobbins and Robinson all over that field. Well, he's got him a couple Robinsons and and Cortez Dobbins and Joe had to figure out a way to chase him around the field.
Yeah, I'd say that receiving core that Cardinal Ritter had, it's got to be one of the best, not only the state, but I would put them up there, one of the best in the country. When you got talent like that going to the big schools that they're going to, it was just unbelievable the talent they had, especially at the receiver position. But you know, a great team. Went on to didn't even win the state championship. Got second in the state to golly, that state championship game was a good one.
Who did they play? Was it
Trinity Catholic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Trinity Catholic. They ran into them, and Trinity's got their crew too. A bunch of them going on to big Division I football as well next year. So two big time programs met in the championship game, and Trinity Catholic come out on top. But Kennett was right there in the mix, had a great run, and they got some young talents going to be coming back as well. So be looking forward to the Kennett Indians back on the football field this next fall. But staying on the football field, Tommy, the Hayti Indians, a season to remember. One of the probably I would say the most dominant team in Southeast Missouri history when you just match up how they performed against their opponents. And when you win a state championship game, 50 some odd points to 0. That's special.
Well, they were talented and so explosive. You know, they had so many players. And, you know, you hear Ivory Winters, and a very talented person, one of the best I've seen. But, man, he had a crew of people around him was decent players, too.
Sure. I know, Ivory Winters, the special talent that he is, going on to play at Indiana University this next fall. You know, he deserves all the praise and, the attention. But,
we enjoy Southeast Missouri sports. And, we have some tremendous teams down here, tremendous athletes. And I don't know how it is in other parts of the state, but I don't think I could stand it if it was any better than what we put up with down here.
Sure. Back to that Hayti team, Winters deserves all the, attention he's gotten, and, it's well deserved. But, man, they went they probably had 10 to 12 guys that are elite athletes at the high school level. When you talk about Gerard Covington,
exactly.
Cravante Moore, Tyler Wooden, Xavier, golly, man, I can't even remember all these kids now going back to the fall. But what big time talent across the field, and they showed it. We brought the Western game, Western Haytime semifinal game before that state championship game. We brought it on TV, and actually we're going to be showing that today later on at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock and 6 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday at 3. You want to relive the Haytime Indians' dominant season? We're going to show that state semifinal game, Haytime versus Western, today at 6 and Sunday at 3 here on YHC Channel 21. So check that out from back in the fall. And that's probably one of the most. We probably won't see a more dominant team like the Haytime Indians that we saw this fall, Tommy.
I think that's right. And that the coaching staff to hold that much talent together, you got to take your hats off to them. They got
Coach Weatherspoon did a great job. Yeah,
and they'll come back this year. It may not be as dominant, but Haytime's got such good players and good athletes. They'll put something together again this year.
Sure. So that was probably the bright spot of the season was the Haytime Indian football team and the dominant run that they had. And just rolled through their schedule undefeated. I think the team that gave them the best shot was Valley Catholic. I think that was in like the sectional round. Beat them by like 14 on a really wet, stormy night. So Valley Catholic, they are who they are, but no problem for the Indians moving forward. But that's probably the highlight. Not only the fall season, but maybe the sports season as a whole. The Haytime Indian football team. So. Certainly a team to remember for the 2018 Haytime football Indians. So, trying to bring, kind of revert back to the fall a little bit, Tommy, but it seemed like Kent and Haytime really led the way in the Boot Hill for the fall sports season.
Yeah, exactly right. And you guys did a tremendous job with those games, and I know everybody appreciates that, especially someone like myself. I watched them, and I've just heard so many great compliments about YHC and for bringing those games, because you got two talented teams, and I'm not taking anything away from these other schools, but like you say, Kenneth and Haytime was the spotlight this year, and man, they were just great to be able to stay home and watch those games because they didn't want to get out in person. But I don't know, Marlin had a rough year, and their coach has resigned, and Coach Collier, very good friend of mine. Coach Collier going to Piggott, and Piggott's getting a good coach. And I talked to Collier yesterday, and he's real excited about it because, Piggott has a pretty good program over there.
Yeah, Piggott's put together some fine seasons, and Coach Harrell, I'm sure he enjoys. I tell you, Coach Harrell's he's putting the assistants together. I think last year they went and found an offensive coordinator that was one of the top offensive minds in Arkansas, and now he's bringing on Coach Collier here from the Boot Hill. So he's stacking up the talent over there at Piggott.
They made some noise the last couple of years, and they may make a little more this year.
Yeah, that's a program that's coming along. Coach Harrell's doing a great job leading that program, and the Piggott Mohawks put together some fine seasons. Boy, that conference they're in just so tough. It's seems like a state champion comes out of that conference about every other year on average, and it's a tough conference, but they're out there fighting to be at the top of it for sure.
Yeah, and Coach Collier's a good guy, a good man, going into a good program, and we wish him well.
Sure, and we'll be having Piggott football this fall as well, so he'll be there on the sidelines for.
That's right. That's one of the first things Collier said when we were talking about Piggott. He said, "Hey, YAC does about all their games." He said, "I like that." I said, "Yeah, they do."
Yeah, we'll be talking to Coach Harrell pretty soon, and I'm sure he'll have good things to say about bringing Coach Collier on his staff. So we'll be looking forward to that.
You bet.
Fast forward into the winter season. It's a great basketball season, Tommy. Really enjoyed the season.
If I lose you, Tyler, it's not me fell out. It's this phone. I've been having trouble with my phone.
Okay. Can you hear me coming through?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Fast forward to the winter.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. After we laid football to rest this year, we had some pretty good basketball in the area, didn't we?
Oh yeah, it was a great year, and it seemed like it only got better even after the Christmas tournament. It's the Christmas tournament one of the best tournaments we've had for the last number of years. Twin Rivers and Hayti going down to the wire to the very last possession, where Hayti got a block at the rim to win the tournament, and they were the top seed. But the sixth seeded Twin Rivers Royals really made it interesting, making that championship game as the sixth seed.
They really did. And I want to tell you again, I hope Terry McVeigh's listening. Terry and I are the same age, and I began to worry about Terry because, they had so many games that just came down to the last possession, last shot, last second. And I thought poor old Terry may have another heart attack. Boy, he really got excited, did an excellent job. I couldn't help but laugh.
Yeah, well, I don't think we've had, especially in the postseason, I don't think we've had so many games come down to the wire as we had this year. Because we had probably within 1 week, we did those three district championship games. We did the Class 1 district finals, Risco and Scott County Central, where it came down to the wire, where Nate Burnett got a runner at the buzzer to win it for the Risco Tigers. And then the Class 2 District 1 finals, that was Portageville and Bernie. Portageville got that win, and that came down to the last few moments. Portageville getting that win. And then fast forward pretty much within the next week, it was Risco knocking off South Iron at Bloomfield in the sectional, and that went down to the very last moments. And in the Class 2 sectional over at Sykeston, Terry and I went over and we broadcast that Thayer and Portageville sectional, and that came down to the very last few possessions. So within a week, we had like 4 games that came down to just the last possession or two, and it was really intense.
I knew, you're at your age, you're young. I knew you'd survive. But, like I say, Terry and I the same age. I began to worry about Terry having that many like that exciting. I know he'll take it. Yeah,
I tell you, he had some good calls, boy, and
he
had some good calls. It was fun. It was fun the whole way, and it was a joy, watching Risco finally get over that hump. Scott County Central finally winning that district championship over them, winning that sectional over South Iron, and the dramatic fashion that was, and a great game that was, and eventually falling to Dora, which Dora's going to be a great team to look at the next few years. And Portageville's a team that, was expected to do well, but maybe not, make a run that they had. But they really put together a great run behind Jason Irby and a great group of seniors there, and led that team and went into the quarterfinal round and just came down to the wire to Oran, and just fell on the last possession to Oran to potentially make the Final Four. So Portageville is one of those teams.
They've had some good seasons the last couple, 3 seasons, and like you say, that was a tremendous ball game. Portageville, I thought they might pull it out, but it just didn't happen.
Yeah, can't pull them all out, but they were real close and had a great year. Memorable season for the Bulldogs for sure. And Charleston got to go to the Final Four, lost to Vashon in that semifinal, but come away with 3rd place. And Charleston, it's kind of a so-so season for Charleston. They pull out 3rd in the state, so yeah.
And when you're in the same class with Vashon, you're going to have a rough way to go when you get state or the semifinal or the quarterfinal. But man, they are tremendous talent, and they draw so many players into that program that's just outstanding.
Yeah, it's a intercity school there, Vashon, a storied program there at Vashon, and over the last 2 to 3, maybe 4 years, they've put it all back together. They kind of went in a lull there for a while, but they put it together pretty quick, and they're one of the top teams, if not the top team there in St. Louis here the last few years. So Vashon's back, and being in Class 3, it makes it tough, awful tough, especially on the teams down in our way like Charleston and teams like that might advance on in the state tournament. So we'll see how that plays out going forward. But Charleston finished great, and probably the highlight and probably the biggest moment of the winter sports season, Tommy, that Class 4 District 1 championship game up at Cape Central, Sykeston to Cape Central. Probably one of the most anticipated games I can remember here in Southeast Missouri, especially amongst the bigger schools. Sykeston already winning two times previous in the season against Cape, and the district championship on Cape Central's home floor for the rubber match, or not even the rubber match, the third game, and Cape beat the undefeated Sykeston Bulldogs ruined their perfect season to advance on. They won in the sectional round, lost to St. Mary's in the quarterfinal game, which we broadcast up at Hillsboro. But that was probably the biggest game that I can remember in quite some time between Sykeston and Cape Central this year.
That was a tremendous ball game, and you know, like you say, Sykeston goes undefeated all the way through. Already beat Cape a couple of times, but they didn't beat a fluke, and it wasn't a fluke that Cape beat them, because Cape had a heck of a team.
Yeah, they did, and those previous two games were close. One was at the Field House in the championship game of that CMO Conference tournament. It came down to be like a 6-point game, 6-point win, I think, for a 5 to 6 point win for Sykeston. So it was basically a 2-possession game there right at the end. And then they played again at the Field House in the regular season, and that went down to the wire. I mean, it came down to like the last possession. I think that might have been a 3-point or 4-point win, but that was about a 1 to 2 possession game. And then, you know, Cape finally gets it on their home floor, and finally getting that victory over Sykeston. It took the third one, but hey, they'll take it on that third one because that meant the most to the district championship to move on.
I'm sure Sykeston would have given up one of those wins over Cape to take that one at the last.
Yeah.
One at the last, one it counts.
Yep, that's right. And, you know, a perfect season on the line for Sykeston, and the great run off of last year into this year, a great senior class, you know, with the likes of Trey Jenkins, you know, the twins.
Yes.
Golly, names are escaping me all of a sudden now. But, you know, the great senior class that they had, and, you know, it's disappointing for a team like that to end on a loss when you got a great run like that. But Cape Central had the team to match up and to eventually beat that Sykeston team. So Cape Central had a memorable season as well.
Yeah, they sure did. And you know, before my phone gives out, we've had some coaching changes go on in the Boot Hill. One of the ones that stands out in my mind is Travis Day going to Hayti. And I will say this, if those kids at Hayti will listen to Travis Day, they'll be back in Columbia or wherever they're going to play, because he'll take them there because they've got the talent down there.
Sure. Yeah, Travis Day, that was here in the last week. Travis Day named the boys basketball coach at Hayti, and he's had a great run at New Madrid County Central up until a few years back, where they, you know, went to the direction of Lennox McFerrin at that point. But Travis Day sat out this last year and just kind of you know, relaxed. I'm sure you can relax after, you know, being 10 plus years and coaching, and actually did the Bernie Hayti game with us. That was nice. And
I've listened to that.
Yeah, good one to link up with Travis down at Hayti, and it just worked out. He goes to Hayti, so you know, he's going to go down to Hayti. He'll be in the Boot Hill Conference. We're going to be able to see him on the sidelines of the Bloomfield Christmas tournament. That'll be exciting for him to be a part of that, and you'll be looking forward to seeing what Coach Day does down at Hayti. It'll be exciting to see.
It sure will. Tyler, I got something to say before we get off here. Because I've had a lot of people ask me why I wasn't in games this past winter. Well, I had a little health problem and got that pretty well behind me now. But if it wasn't for YHC, me to watch the ball games and help of my brother Clyde at Dexter, I don't know if I'd have been able to do any more, but I really appreciate all you all have done, and I certainly appreciate the surgeons and my brother and my family for taking me through this troubled times. But everything looks good, and I'll be back.
He's back.
Year.
He's like Jordan. He's back.
That's right. I'm making a comeback.
Making a comeback. Yeah, I had a lot of people ask about you. You know, this past year you didn't. You know, you did a few football games in the fall, but you know, gone for the basketball season, and you know, you had you know, a medical procedure and you know, a follow up that was tough on you, and you know, I just said, hey, you know, he'll be back if he can be back, but it just didn't happen. But certainly making a great recovery here of late, and that's great to hear. And he'll certainly be back in the mix next year, and we can't wait. You know, we missed you. Having you around all the ball games, Terry. It was Tommy. It was a great year, but I think next year will be even better when you come back.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'll be back because I'm ready for it. Of course, you and I have talked. I think they should play basketball 12 months a year. Because we all love it, and growing up at Campbell like I did, we didn't have much of a football team at Campbell, so I know and people will say, yeah, I know that, know very little about football, and I'm where I enjoyed that tremendously. But basketball is really something that we all enjoy.
Sure. Yeah, it's a great tradition here throughout the southeast Missouri area, when to the smallest schools all the way to the big ones. So it's a great tradition. It's always fun to be a part of it here at YHC, and we do more of it each year, and looking forward to it each year, and can't wait to get started again. It won't be long, Tommy. We'll be into football season late August, so we'll be back in the mix of it pretty quick.
I got my clothes laid out now. I'm ready.
Might want to get the hangers out. We got a few months, but yeah, hang them up and have them ready. But we'll be geared to go come late August into the football season, the fall sports season. So, but yeah, wrapping this season up, it was a great year, man. It was a lot of fun. This is one of the most memorable ones I can think of. Just with teams putting together teams we didn't quite expect to make the runs that they would, and you always like to see that. People kind of outperforming their expectations, and that's a lot of good memories that the kids and the coaches can take away for sure.
That's exactly right. And another thing, congratulations to you and your wife for the birth of your son, Oliver John.
Yeah.
I hope everything's working out. Are you staying up late at night?
Oh yeah, get some late nights. That's why these Saturday mornings, trying to get these shows together. Like last week. Yeah, it was didn't pull that one off last week, but it's tough, but it's all worth it. Now having 2 kids under 11 months, it's its own unique challenge in itself. So, but it's all worth it. And good fun.
I remember those days, Tyler. Good luck to you.
Yep. Yeah, I'll be. Well, we had. It was convenient that it wasn't right in the middle of the sports season, so that made it a little easier.
Good timing.
Yeah, good timing for sure. So, looking forward to next year being just a little easier, but looking forward to that as well. So.
Yeah, I am too. I sure am.
All right, Tommy, we'll let you go. I wanted to have you in to talk about the memorable season we had this year, and it was a lot of fun. And of course, you were out for the basketball season. We'll let everyone know that Tommy is back. He's making his return, starting this fall, and certainly for the basketball season ahead. So we'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, I will too. And again, thanks everybody for their thoughts, their cards, their calls, their prayers. I appreciate it very much from all over the people around, and I really appreciate it. And I'll see you, as you say, I'll see you down the road.
All right, we'll do it. And thanks again, Tommy. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. And that's a good friend, Tommy Jacques. And as he said, he was out for the basketball season, had a medical procedure done, and it went well. It's just that, complications following that up and kept him out. But had a pretty tough go there for a few months, recovering really well now and looking good, feeling good. And it's just wasn't in time for basketball season, but he'll be back in the mix next year. I know a lot of people like Tommy being a part of the games. He's a lot of fun, and it just wasn't the same without him, but still a lot of fun with the crew that we got, of course. And we'll be looking forward to having him back next year, back in the mix. So we'll be certainly looking forward to another great season here on YHC. And that's pretty much going to wrap it up. We've got, I want to touch on the Rib City Shootout. We've got the Rib City Shootout coming up this coming Friday and Saturday. I think that's on the 31st. May 31st. Yeah, May 31st, that's Friday. And then June 1st is boys basketball for the Rib City Shootout here in Dexter. And it's been going on almost a decade, probably around a decade now. And it's a great it's a great event for Dexter, not only Dexter, the surrounding area. If you're into high school basketball, come out each weekend, Fridays and Saturdays, and I think there might be a Thursday and Friday in there. Even got some volleyball mixed in now, and they got boys and girls that they alternate throughout the summer. And the first event is May 31st, Friday, and Saturday, June 1st, for the Rib City Shootout here in Dexter. If you like high school basketball, you got all the games that you can bear to watch from morning to night on Friday and Saturday, this coming Friday and Saturday in Dexter. Come on out and watch a lot of high school basketball at the Rib City Shootout. We'll be on hand each event to tape about 3 games to come back here on YHC. We pretty much try to keep to the local teams here in our area to broadcast here on YHC on a delayed basis. So you can watch them right here on YHC as well when we for the following week. And NBA Finals are coming up, but we still got the Eastern Conference Finals to wrap up. Game 6 will be tonight. I think that'll be at a 7:30 start. The Toronto Raptors, the second seed, hosting the top seed Milwaukee Bucks. Chance to close out the series. The Raptors have won 3 straight over the Bucks, lead 3 games to 2 on their home floor tonight for a chance to close out the series and move on to the NBA Finals, where the 2-time defending world champion Golden State Warriors await. They swept the Blazers 4 games straight in the Western Conference Finals, even without Kevin Durant. Just a remarkable run for the Warriors in that Western Finals. And they're going to be on the road. Either team, Bucks or the Raptors, win, the Warriors will be on the road. So the Raptors or the Bucks will have home court advantage in the NBA Finals with a better record than the Warriors just by a game or 2. So we'll be looking forward to the Warriors going on the road to take on the Raptors, the Bucks. I think it's going to be the Raptors at this point. I thought the Bucks, after that game 1, would probably win this in no less than 5 games or no more than 5 games. And, boy, I'll tell you, it's been all Raptors here the last 3 games. They've won 3 straight. The Bucks took the first 2 at home in Milwaukee. The Raptors took 2 straight in Toronto. I was like, well, surely the Bucks will get game 5. But I'll tell you, Kawhi Leonard had a 35-point night, big night. Also, Van Fleet had like 7 3-pointers. It was unbelievable. And Raptors took game 5 on the road in Milwaukee. Chance to close it out tonight, Saturday night in game 6. So could be a Raptors-Warriors finals, but we'll see. Should be exciting for tonight. And the NHL playoffs. The Blues are in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And after kind of a up and down season, they really put it together here late and defeated the Sharks in the Western Conference Finals. They move on to the Stanley Cup playoff final against the Boston Bruins, and we'll be looking forward to that. I think they got to go on the road, so the Boston's got the home ice advantage. That'll start Monday night in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Blues in the finals. It's the first time, I think, since 1970, so great opportunity for the Blues. Just come out of nowhere. Only if they get the Cardinals do that. They come put together a season. But the Cardinals kind of struggling here of late in the back half of the division. Hopefully they can right the ship and get it going here this summer. But, that's the story. It's all about the Blues right now in St. Louis. And that's pretty much all we got to bring for you for today. And we appreciate you for tuning in. This is our finale, our season finale. Going to wrap up this year and take off the summer. We'll be back in late August, getting ready for the fall sports season, have a football preview and other fall sports preview late August. So we'll see that'll do it for us for the summer. We will have Rib City Shootout games here on YHC throughout the summer, those events here in Dexter. So tune in for those here on Channel 21, also at YHCTV.com and our YouTube page. And also we'll be featuring our Christmas in July. Look forward to that one. Christmas in July. We'll have the best games of the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament here on YHC in July. Pretty much weekdays or weeknights here on YHC, and also on our Facebook page, on Facebook Live in July. Basically, the best games of the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament from pretty much the current year to back to 2006. So look forward to that coming in July as well, as we do that each summer. And that'll do it for our Roundtable season. We appreciate you for tuning in all year. It's been a great year. And of course, if you want any DVDs of any games we've done this year, give us a call. Contact us. We'll get you set up with DVDs from the year. And that'll do it for us today and for this season. And we wish you a great summer, certainly a safe and fun summer. And we'll see you in late August here for the Sports Roundtable. Take care, everyone.